hyper on late game hyper carries, but we're seeing teams like this where it's all about getting a good early game going out here and seeing the lane bullies come out, seeing the Namis and Thresher win the lanes, the Lucians come out to do the same thing.
Oh.
And the Poppy band comes out.
Do you see that shaking his head? He's like, no. They just freed up a ban there.
Yeah.
The huge thing coming into this.
Orianna and Jarvan.
It's one of those two that's going to be left open here for Unicorns of Love, or they will leave both open.
Wow. They're so afraid of the Kha'Zix that Millenium first picks it or bans it every single game.
Here's the thing, though. If Unicorns of Love, like, first pick an Orianna for themselves.
No, it's Lucian, of
It's
course.
going to be Lucian. Okay, so they're going to pick the Lucian.
Absolutely the right choice.
That's exactly right, because it's contested. And now, you put Millenium in the pickle of, do we take Orianna, do we take Jarvan, do we just go with our thing?
Kerp hasn't played Orianna the entire split.
Exactly. He's more of that assassin, wave clear type player. Like, he'll play the Ziggs if he's going to do any wave clearing.
But even Ziggs can one-shot people, right? Like, at least that fits the mold. So Millenium just go for the bottom lane. They're looking for counter picks here. The Nami, no surprise there. Not even going for an early jungle pick, interestingly enough. Not thinking that's contested. So Gilius,
Jarvan
no Kha'Zix, gets his Jarvan, exactly.
Yeah, they could go Jarvan, Orianna here, and have that ball delivery system into the Cataclysm.
So I think Millenium has to last pick their top lane. Because I don't think Pavi's the only hidden pick here for Vizicsacsi.
No,
I think that pool goes really deep. So you gotta give Kerp a blind pick, and then hope he doesn't get outplayed by Power of Evil.
I really like this playstyle from Vizicsacsi. I want to talk about him for just a second here, because your top laner's like, okay, I know these matchups. Vizicsacsi is going to test you in a competitive match with something you haven't played against before in that matchup. He's like, I'm going to play Swain into Maokai. He's like, I know it's a counter pick, or I know it at least works in this way. How are you going to react to it mid-game?
Right.
Like, by the time you react to it, you're already like, oh my god, I'm getting chunked. We should have lane swapped, or we should have done this.
Right. Well, red side OP, Millenium is not going to allow the counter pick top lane matchup here. Vizicsacsi might just go back to the Maokai up there, hoping that Jarvan the fourth now for Gilius can be enough to keep that matchup decent.
They go Maokai Orianna here.
Then power play Yasuo? He doesn't, does he? Nope, Orianna comes through.
Power of Evil is pretty much exclusively wave clear type champion player, wave clear caster. He will play the Ahri sometimes, and we'll just have to see.
Is it? I don't know. Jay recovers Blitzcrank every game.
Yeah,
Mundo 4 times in a row here for Kevin. Of course, realizes what matchup's up there. Says, yep, I can handle the Maokai up there. So, great team fighting team for Unicorns of Love. Millenium pretty scattered on what they're looking for here, but Kerp could one-shot an important target in the backline, and they can kind of just drag out the fight with a Mundo front line on a backline.
Yeah, they won with this combination between Cotnex and Kerp in Game 2 with the Elise and the Talon off the early game ganks in the mid lane.
Right.
So they might be looking for more of that type of aggression. Cotnex, he could set up the top lane as well. We'll have to see what he ends up doing, because a lot of Millenium's success over Unicorns of Love is on Cotnex's back. Can he get that early game advantage? Can he set up his team and be a facilitator so that they can take those early objectives and then get ahead? So, I mean, I feel like every time that Millenium gets objectives, they're just giving themselves a buffer. So it's like, UOL is going to catch up a bit, but how much can we stay ahead of them until eventually it's just like that. But when Unicorn of Love get a lead, they're like, okay, see you guys. We're over here. We're gone.
Yeah, because they just strangle Vision so darn well. I do think that the first 10 minutes, as with every single game so far in this series, those first 10 minutes mean a whole heck of a lot here. So, Unicorns of Love back on basically, I think the same, 9 of 10 champions are the exact same from Game 2 here. The only difference being that you've got Jarvan instead of Lee Sin. The AD carry swap positions, and otherwise, I think we have identical team comps.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
So we're going to see now, early game AD carry, is that going to keep working then? Can Vardogs actually get out of the lane successfully and win some earlier team fights on? Can Gilius, who's had his Jarvan banned every single game until now, how good's that going to be?
The name of the game is comfort for Unicorns of Love in this match. These are comfort champions for them all across the board, and I love the fact that they're coming into these matches with just something they're comfortable with, because you'll have land jitters, you'll have all the stress on you when you're down 2-0 or whatever, and you whip out the Poppy pick. That's freaking incredible, and huge props to them for that. But can they even up 2-0? Is Millenium going to get back into the LCS 3-1?
We're going to find out. Mid laners squaring off. So far, the point defense for Unicorns of Love, while Millenium head to the bottom side. Kevin's going to spot out Vardogs. Nice dodge on the briefcase, but he can still win the second one. Oh, guess is wrong. And actually, Vardogs, they're not going to dive this. They could try.
This is the first level 1, I believe, in this series that Unicorns of Love had more information about Millenium than Millenium has had about Unicorns.
It's true. We heard them say in the analyst desk, every level 1's getting progressively better for UOL. I know their coach is here with them talking about what they can do better between each game.
Yeah, Shapey's actually a really cool dude. Like, that brief chat we had with him, he seems really loose, really easygoing, and very intelligent. So
yep.
I imagine that when you're down 2-0, he's not going to be a guy who's ragging on you. He's going to be a guy encouraging you.
Well, Unicorns of Love,
Bola
best
whipped cream.
game. Yep, Bola whipped cream probably to every player on that team. Unicorns of Love, I mean, their best game was once they were down 0-2. They clearly did not tilt in this matchup at all. I'm going to see what they can do. So, duo lane going to go bot for UOL. Same for Millenium here. So 2-on-2, 1-on-1 matchups. Gilly's going to start blue buff. And we are going to see actually, oh no, a late invade by Millenium. And I think they didn't get spotted.
Nope, the ward expired. That's over at the red buff.
Wow.
So they'll know this based on how late Creatine and Jayri show up this lane and from what angle they show up. So if they go all the way up the bush and then come down,
yeah, they know.
Yeah, they know.
So red buff stolen. TP once again used by Kevin to get top lane. He's been doing that often throughout this match. Buys 2 more health potions. Looks like that's 3 pots plus the Doran's shield. And Gilius does rightly choose the correct way to go here. And he will grab the enemy red buff, so this will be an equal buff trade.
Here's the thing though is Cotton-X, he's clearing an extra camp. This is actually how it goes between these two junglers. Is Cotton-X, he'll go get the enemy buff, he'll go clear out some of the wraiths or whatever is nearby, it could be wolves, and then he'll go to the next one, so he'll hit level 3. Gilius goes 1 buff to the next one, and then he's still level 2. And sometimes he ganks off that level 2. He doesn't go for the wraiths every time.
So far he's safe with his own ward coverage here. He does not go for any counter jungling, so that is an extra counter jungle camp that Cotton-X got here. And it will slow down Gilius ever so slightly. Level 3 Elise clears the camps. Another trinket ward to stay safe. Power of Evil knows to sit on the top side of the lane to hug his ward. They also know Cotton-X must be bottom side because of the buffs.
Oh, but at the same time, Power of Evil, he's playing to the side that has his wards, but at the same time, that's not going to tip him off. Cotton-X is over here.
Has gotten to the same gank every single game. I feel like I keep seeing him double buff gank mid.
It's pretty damn close to it. Every game.
No.
But look at this. He made a route.
Wow.
All the way across.
That's impressive. He's counter jungling very heavily. And the thing is, if the bot lane were winning right now, he would potentially get in a very abrupt kill on Vardogs and Hylissang.
They are going to see him right now, though. He's walking across the ward. They ping him out.
And they can guess that he counter jungled the double golems here as well. But nothing doing here for Gilius. He's not finding anything to do. And even though the CS looks equal 9-9, Cotton-X is getting way more valuable monster kills here.
And Gilius still sitting at just barely level 3. Cotton-X will hit 4.
Like 3.5, almost 4, yeah.
He'll hit 4 fairly shortly. He's already in on those camps.
All right. Gilius finds this counter jungle. He will take away one of the big wraiths. Still one large monster ahead right now still for Cotton-X here in the jungle path.
Creatine holding parity in this bottom lane in terms of CS. Has the sustain from Nami, so he can trade with the Lucian.
But every lane's actually winning.
Oh,
slightly trading. Good damage on the Creatine. Actually misses one passive charge. Vardogs forced to flash away. And here's the TP in for Vizicachi. Can they reach it though? Creatine, ooh, a nice lantern. They go for the Tristana who jumps away. I think they should have saved that for Maokai though to lock down Jayri. Another flash play gonna happen. Flash in Vizicachi not gonna be in range. A wasted flash and a wasted teleport.
I don't know if it's completely wasted, though. They're setting up for this dragon for Unicorns of Love.
Well, that is going to send Creatine back, and Jayri has very little to say for himself as well, but it does mean some free farm time for Kevin. Kurt, zone back a little bit Power of Evil. Level 5, Orianna. This will be a very outnumbered fight. They're not going to look for the steal. Nice zoning by Vizicachi, who's out of mana, though. Good pickup there. All right, Unicorns of Love, first dragon. So far, so good for them.
They got both flashes down bottom. Gilius, he still is just level 3 to Cotton-X's level 4, but they picked up that dragon for the team and got themselves a bigger lead than what they would have had if they just picked up 1 kill.
So basically, Vizicachi burned 2 summoner spells for a dragon is the overall trade. The bot lane, otherwise traded 3 summoners each. CS still pretty equal. Cotnex though still going to counter jungle for a bit though. He is playing as aggressively as he can, and he's actually getting some advantages over Gilius because of this.
He's trying to just shut Gilius down, make sure that he can't get into this game, because as soon as that Jarvan hits level 6, you know he's going to go for the lanes that don't have flash, and he's going to cause a lot of pressure. So Cotnex is handling this situation perfectly. And even if he runs into Gilius, at least is a little bit of a better dueler at the start of the game through these early levels.
Sure. The longsword that he has not going to be too much there for Gilius. Should still be in a rough spot in this matchup. Let's see what else happens here. So just the very small 500 gold lead. The lane's actually going much better now for Millenium because of the people leaving their lanes here. Cretin back to a lead. Kevin the same, actually. So when the first recalls come out for the other lanes. Catalyst not done for the Maokai, so he's not going to be able to sustain all that well in this lane for a while.
And now Gilius looking to get some deeper wards and get information about the jungle of Cotnex. But Cotnex isn't really spending a lot of time in his own jungle. He's spending it in lanes. He's spending it in the enemy jungle.
And we'll see how useful those wards end up even being here. Looks like the recall is going to come in for Cretin soon. He should have nearly enough money to get himself some good items. We'll see, though. The recall timing should be pretty similar, though. The Dragon Gold going to make up for that 6 CS difference.
Yeah.
Cotnex near the top lane, but does not want to gank here just yet. Kevin does have the level lead, though. They could theoretically force the flashless Vizicachi down. He doesn't even have wards, as far as I know.
And both AD carries are sitting at BF Sword Gold, but of course, Vardags is a little bit higher in gold because of the fact he has the Dragon.
Ooh, nice jump in. Actually dodges the cleaver. Nice play, Vizicachi. But I don't think he has any hope of actually pushing Kevin out of lane when he's got the Negatron Cloak plus his ulti there.
Nah, this ain't no Poppy.
Nope.
Never thought I'd say that in my life. It's happened though.
Alright. So Power of Evil is building a small lead here. 15 minions up against Kerp. Kerp, the first recall off of Brutalizer and his Flask. And so far that is a lead that Power can take in and actually maybe continue to bully. One last wave to push, and he's going to get his own recall with 20 CS and a Dragon's worth of gold extra. This mid lane might even get worse for Kerp now.
Here's the thing though, is Cotnex didn't get any ganks off. There's about 1,000 gold lead now for Unicorns of Love. Just kind of making itself very present in this mid lane. And the fact that Cotnex hit 6 and Gilius is about to hit 6, Jarvan's power spike at 6 is much higher than Elise's. Elise is just going to get some extra damage and Spider lane. Jarvan's going to get himself the Cataclysm, and he's going to be able to lock up targets that don't have Flash. It's going to be a really big boon for him and his ganking, especially since none of these lanes gave up First Blood yet.
True. It's been a pretty slow game. Cotnex is getting some extra gold from the counter jungle, but otherwise nothing really emphasized, and I can't help but think that's a good thing for Unicorns of Love, who, once their early game stopped being bad, just won very convincingly against Millenium here.
That's going to be Gilius with the back. Didn't have enough mana for a full combo, so even if he had engaged there for a gank.
Also, interestingly, really late recalls from the AD carries. The mid laners have been pretty good about coming in when they have important items to go through. Right, Brutalizer versus the extra Doran's boots and Seekers on one side, but...
So here's the thing, is that the bottom lane, nobody's really bullied the other one out of this lane. They're just sitting there, gentleman's agreement, we're just going to keep farming.
Yeah.
They both are sitting on about 2,500 gold, and Dragon is up in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
So no matter what, you're not going to be able to recall and get more than, I think, BF Sword Pickaxe. So very smart recall right now by Cretin. Should be able to get that item. Oh, he can't afford it. Gets boots instead. That's actually a bit of a lull here. And now the dive top lane. Kevin, 600 health, is healing the Flash. Doesn't mean too much, but Vizicachi pulls aggro. He's going to dance back. There we go. First blood to Gilius, and he will be able to walk away safely. Great first blood, Unicorns of Love.
Good job by Vizicachi to tank the turret as long as he possibly could. Also, the flash from Kevin was to dodge the knockup instead of dodging the Cataclysm. And that cost
he
him.
couldn't kite away anymore. And now we're going to see Cotnex just sit there in the top lane. Of course, we are still going to see Kevin back in lane in time with teleport to contest the Dragon, but Unicorns of Love are going to be stronger everywhere.
Yeah, Vardags gets the pickaxe instead of boots.
Yep.
Pickaxe longsword, pickaxe BF sword.
Yeah.
Beats pickaxe boots.
I I mean, he was already going to be stronger at level 8 regardless, but this is going to be an even bigger spike.
Shockwave.
Nice shockwave. Curb has to. Oh, Hillesung!
Oh my god!
Oh my god, Hillesung! What else can you say?
He hooks him during the Shadow Assault, and it's completely blind. And there was a flash on top of it.
Nothing else to say.
Yeah, you can put your hands down now, Freak.
Nope, I can't. I can't put my hands down. I'm still in disbelief. That was sick.
That was awesome. So I'm glad we highlighted him before the game. He's gotten Thresh every game, and he's been a big facilitator with his hooks. We had the highest kill participation last game, and now Unicorns of Love are out to a 2.2k gold start.
You got to realize Unicorns have
Dragon
so much momentum right now. Millenium have to be a little bit shattered. I feel like they've got to be somewhat quiet, got to be a little bit lost here. They're going to try to make the play mid lane. Not going to happen. Unicorns of Love are already grouped up. And they are on fire right now.
Ooh, there's teleport advantage for Vizichachi, or for Kevin in the top lane. Vizichachi does not have his.
Ooh. Bring it double.
Apparently he can defend himself during broadcast. Gilius, he's going to try to go in for this.
Oh, wow, they got the steal.
Vardags.
Didn't even get the smite. Vardags with the W. Does like 60 damage.
And they're going to get a turret for this too. There's so much going in favor of the Unicorns of Love at this moment. The momentum, you said.
Yeah.
The gold lead that they have for themselves.
4.3 thousand this early on. This is grim for Millenium. It's Kerp going in, tries to make the play, can't do enough damage. Vizichachi though burning down.
Gillian?
And it's going to be the jump in towards Kevin. Cotton gets one kill. They trade back though. Top laner and jungler dead now on one side and the other. Kerp forced back. 1-for-1 trade though. Not too bad for Millenium.
Not too bad for either side at all. But these items, Orianna sitting on 2,400 gold. Power of Evil.
That's his Zonias.
Is about to get his Zonias. It's going to allow him to have a much easier time against Kerp, who he's already beating by about 30 CS. And the thing with Talon, I talked about it before when Kerp played it. If you get down in the mid game, because your early game wasn't this huge, I'm roaming everywhere, ganking every lane, and keeping them down, you're going to have a terrible time against this much CC on this team. You eat a hook, you eat a flay, you eat a Maokai point and click twisted advance. Kerp is going to get shut down this game pretty hard. I can say that with full confidence on this Talon. So the fact he didn't get snowballing.
Yeah, honestly, it might be very grim for the player who's been kind of putting Millenium on his back for a lot of these games. Kerp's been a huge player, both in this series and the LCS itself.
And here's the fun thing, too, in this matchup, is Millenium was the 6th-seeded team coming into this.
Yeah.
They picked Unicorns of Love, thinking they are the weakest team. And it was funny, because in the roll-in, you heard D-Man saying, I would not pick Unicorns of Love right now.
Yeah.
Because they look like such a fantastic team in terms of their map play. And actually, fun thing there, Hillesung threw his lantern backwards just to feign that there was a gank.
Nope. Not even Vardags was there.
Back up.
Yeah, Unicorns, honestly, the best performing challenger team, at least from Europe, we've seen so far.
In terms of map movement, overall, like their individual play is good, but their team fight is better.
But on J-Re, a great hideaway, but Gilius gets through it, and J-Re very close to dead. Nice pickup by Power of Evil. They're now created, forced to run, loses some health, good flash. Off the good shockwave. Hillesung looking for the hook, not gonna find it. Cooldown boots on Thresh, by the way. He wants a lot of hooks here.
Yeah, he throws them out rapid fire. He wants to get that as low as possible. If he lands one, he's going to land another. Maxes it first, of course. And now they have damage on this turret at 14 minutes, 40 seconds. They're about to lose a tier 2 inhibitor here. A tier 2 turret, sorry, for Millenium.
Oh, damage.
The Infinity Edge completed. The item spikes here for UOL. They are pushing them. They're like, I got Zonias. I got Infinity Edge. Fight
Look
them.
how early these spikes are, though. Like, you've got a bunch of CDR and Thresh. You've got iEdge done before 15. Zonia's done before 15. Lizard Elder done. Like, those are all not completed items on Millenium right here.
And they're going for the same things.
Wow! Gilius picks up Cotton next. Kevin low on health. He will fall, but Gilius will trade his life. 2-for-1 into the mid turret. That's going to drop as well. Kerp does not find a way in. The hook onto J-Re. They root him up, and down he goes. A 3-for-1. Kerp tries to make the play. He does get a kill back.
They kill him.
But they destroy Creatine, and now the inhibitor turret is dying at 15 minutes.
It's a 7K gold advantage for Unicorns of Love at 15 minutes and 30 seconds. They're about to get this blue buff for themselves too. You basically give them a finger, they're gonna take your whole arm, and it looks like they're just taking the whole body. They just blow up Cotnex in the back. Gilius, complete forward motion call there. Goes for the dive. This team is well equipped to deal with that En Hillisang all series long. Has been getting the picks for his team. Kerp makes it happen there with the end of the Shadow Assault. But Creatine just gets blown up by Power of Evil, and these item spikes are so early that you don't even have levels to deal with them or soak the damage that you're going to be taking.
No. Even though you're not seeing the standard death cap stuff coming out, no void stuff yet for Power of Evil, he's destroying people, right? He's got so much damage in this build because it's so darn early on. Vardogs as well, I don't think he's even that afraid of Kerp. Like,
no.
Until Last Whisper, I don't think Kerp can 1v1 him. Or, like, burst him rather. He might be win the duel, but
Kerp doesn't have a completed item. He's like, I got Brutalizer, Moby Boots. I'm trying to move around this map. I'm trying to get some gold for my team, but it's not working out. Infinity Edge isn't even completed on Creatine.
Still.
There is a lot going in favor of Unicorns of Love right now, and the Dragon is in 1 minute, and they're going to be in a better position to fight this team fight, to start this team fight, to dive a turret before the team fight even starts. But look at that. Millennium just going to have to back off of this objective and give it up. They don't have the numbers. They don't have anybody to defend this.
It is good to Millennium's credit, though. They actually have a nice line of defensive wards here. Their warding's actually picked up throughout this series, and Millennium are not going to get caught off guard too much here. The difficulty is that they might just not win fights regardless, but at least they're not going to get picked off nearly as much. Unicorns of Love, though, still pushing in, looking for their 4th turret to 0 in this game. They've not given up any objectives this time around. Nice jump away. Cotton gets hooked in. Out he goes.
This looks like the Unicorns of Love.
Ooh, requiring another flash. The hook onto Kerp as well.
This looks like the Unicorns of Love that the Copenhagen Wolves were talking about.
Yep.
That gives you trouble in scrims. First 2 games, you could see signs of that. Now you're seeing it full force since game 3.
It took nearly a millennium, but Unicorns of Love have finally showed up. There's the tidal wave. There's the engagement. Kerp gets hooked. Doesn't find too much damage, but Hillisang gets locked up. They're going to trade 1 for 1, and the battle has begun. The TP in for Vizicachi. Who can he find?
Oh, he got him.
It's going to be Tristana, but is it enough?
Oh!
Yes, it is. A double kill for Power of Evil. 2 for 1 so far. This should be a turret kill as well. Gilius, yeah, he's taking a lot of damage. Looks for Cotnex. Gets the knockup, actually, and gets the duel. Vizicachi shows up to make sure. Tag team's in. This is going to be a turret kill.
UOL has such great team fighting on top of their objective control, and that was a great display of power by them, flexing their items, flexing their advantage, and now they're going to go straight for this Dragon and just make that gold gap even larger. The thing here to look at between the 2 games, or at least the 2 victories for these teams, is when Millennium wins, it's a 40-minute game. When UOL is winning, first game in game 3 was a 30-minute win. This is 19 minutes in, and they're already at about a 10K gold advantage, even more than that. The amount of damage that just gets pulled out here, and the fact that that's a TP to a minion, so that the turret just keeps hitting that minion, trying to kill it, not switching off of it, is really big, and Vizicachi played that fantastically, getting the Twisted Advance all the way back to Creatine and picking up that kill.
So marvelous here. Basically, Unicorns of Love are up, I think, 1,800 gold per member right here. Like, it's a massive lead in general. You can see down the line, just brutal stuff here. 2,000 on one side, maybe 1,000 on the other, but Unicorns of Love just so far ahead. Finally, 1 turret goes down. Kerp is trying. He's got a kill. He's got 2 assists. He got the top lane turret. But there's so few advantages coming in Millennium's way right now.
So we're about to hit the 20-minute mark, and it's a 10K gold advantage. And a lot of that is just spread out. Power of Evil is about 2.3K above Kerp at this point. Actually, scratch that. He's 3,200 above Kerp.
Jeez.
It was such a big number that I just stinted on the math.
Lost track of math.
Yeah. 3,200 gold advantage.
Ooh, Cocoon Gilius, though, taking a whole bunch of pain. The picks work. The defensive boards for Millennium are showing up.
The wards that they place down to guard themselves and having the base collapse on them, but they're still going to get an objective here. Unicorns of Love are unrelenting in their pursuit, getting that Nexus and evening up the series.
I find it very interesting, actually, that there's so much emphasis on Mercury Treads. I think it makes sense for Power of Evil, just because he can break the silence and Zonia's away from Kerp. But for Gilius, I feel like you just want the Ninja Tabby to survive turrets and Creatine and Kerp here. He's invested really, really heavily on MR, but Kerp is still the scary one. And a slight misbuild that I think could have helped Gilius survive these fights.
I think they're just worried about the Cocoon lockup and then the chase potential afterwards. Because when they've played this composition before, because they played the exact same comp.
Sure.
Right? They were getting chased down. They were getting hit by things and going, okay, you guys have to leave me because I'm dead. Because Mundo's just going to keep cleavering me, and then I'm going to eat another Cocoon, and it just keeps happening like that. So I think the Mercury Treads are just to play safe in this, because they have such an advantage now that would be really hard for them. They would have to basically dive and mess it up multiple times for Millenium to get back in this game, or give up some dragons off of bad team fights.
Well, let's see. Hook is gonna hit Kevin. Boxes down, Ignite there as well. Flayed back in. Such a long lockup means a kill for Vardogs.
He got culled on that one.
He did.
You can see the amount of damage that Vardogs is doing at this point in the game.
Oh! Nice try, does not quite catch up to him, but this is gonna be a mid lane siege now. Vizicachi has to survive with no armor items up against this Tristana.
Kerp's flanking, like he does on Fizz. He's doing it on Talon as well.
Wave.
But he's trying to clear the wave so that they can't get to this turret.
Very nicely done. That's going to buy a lot of time, and it's going to make sure that Kevin revives. But Kerp's got to be careful. His Boots of Moby are on cooldown, and another minion shot slowed him down again. Vizicachi, they're not going to find the rest of the chase.
Kerp going to try to head him off.
Vardogs, W does not hit, and Kerp's out.
Not completely, though. There's a red buff here on Vardags. There's no Shadow Assault either, so a large part of Kerp's DPS is gone.
He needs to dash to get in range. Boots are back up. Ooh, Summer heals to catch up. Kerp is going to land the slow, but has almost nowhere else to go. No ulti, gets a little bit of damage down, but that won't happen. Power of Evil gets the kill. Buys some time for his team, but Creatine is in turret range. That's not where he wanted to be. One hit from dead. Can they find him? Yes. Hillesong and Vizicachi get the kill.
Oh, he dodges
Cocoon. And J-Re is also screwed. 3 kills picked up for UOL.
This is most surely a Baron for the Unicorns of Love if they opt to start it.
Well, Kevin's bottom lane, he's got teleport, but you know what? Doesn't even matter. Here comes the team. There's Gilius as well. This is going to be a pretty swift Baron here. Only 23 minutes in, but you know it's a good way to cement a 10,000 gold lead.
Give yourself some temporary combat stats and just push down those inhibitor turrets. This composition that Unicorns of Love set up for themselves, they got the Jarvan, they got the Orianna, and then they got the comfort picks for Vardags. They got champions that were banned against them throughout this series, and they've taken every objective. All 3 dragons, first Baron, and they are about to close this game out. Pretty much sub 30 minutes. They're looking very poised to do so.
They absolutely could. So, 12,000 gold lead, 23 minutes in, still. They're basically keeping a 500 gold per minute lead in this game, a ludicrously high number. And UOL have not flinched so far. Now with Baron buff, looking for the siege. Mid lane inhibitor turret should still be injured somewhat. Dragon's up in a minute, but I feel like sieging is a smarter choice when you've got Baron buff than just taking neutrals for 10 minutes. We know Millenium had problems sieging in their earlier 2 wins. They did close it out though. Unicorns of Love though have been much more decisive in closing games.
Unicorns of Love have all the tools to dive as well. Gilius will force a fight, and it's the Shockwave combo on top of him. Watch for that, watch for Vizicachi, and watch for the hooks from Hillesong. There's so many things to keep your eyes peeled for that Millenium, they don't have enough eyeballs for it.
Kevin gets pulled in again. He is still not tanky enough. He's going to get just bursted down, and there is the kill on Dr. Mundo.
Oh, the hook again!
0-5-1. Kevin Kerp just gets out, but by the way, everyone else is dead. There goes Creatine. Double kill for Power of Evil. J-Re flashes away, does stay alive, but right now UOL are inside the base. They have a minion wave coming. This will be an inhibitor.
They're going to go straight for this inhibitor turret, and the amazing dive there. The hooks from Hillesong, hooking Kevin, then hooking Kerp, and getting completely out of the fight while the rest of them dive the backline. They have so much gold in terms of an advantage here that they are ready to close this game out, and they're just going to pick Millenium apart and play it systematically.
And look at this. They could drag it. They could steal red buff. Instead, they're going to go for the top lane and try to get more. And Baron buff keeping the health bars up. Unicorns of Love, though, not going to overstay. And they will use some time to clear away buffs, maybe regroup and grab dragons, but they still have 2 minutes on Baron buff to push a lot more down.
And pings onto the dragon. They don't want to give these dragons up to Millenium or give them any type of gold to get back into this game or even signs of life. It's a stranglehold here. You let them get their hands around your neck, they're going to choke you until you asphyxiate.
Yep.
that it usually ends in a Nexus explosion.
True.
I was like, they're not actually going to choke him.
Hopefully not. That's against the rules.
Yeah. I assume it's the law, too?
I mean, yes.
Unicorns Love are going to secure themselves a dragon at the same time and make this about a 15,000 gold lead. They almost have 150% of the gold of Millennium.
It's rather significant margin. I would say that's a bit of a useful lead here. Hillsong gets his charges spent, and they're going to go down for the bottom lane here.
It's more like 130, but still.
Huh?
I was just talking about 130% of their gold.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
No.
We're not prone to exaggeration.
Never. Poppy is the best champion in the game.
Not an exaggeration.
Teemo is the best champion in the game.
All the good crowd showed up today.
Think what you wish. Here we go, guys. Bottom lane under fire. Baron buff on for 30 seconds more. They got one wave left with Baron buff. Kerp holding the mid lane pretty safely. Looks for the flank. Not going to find it easily. Hillsong sweeps away some wards. Not much vision for Millennium. And here they go, looking for inhibitor number 2. 27 minutes in. Gilius knocked up, though. Good damage.
Onto the
TP.
minion.
Will they even go for this? Kerp is still behind the team, looking for the flank. This is Millennium's last stand right here. Gilius loses a lot of health. In goes Kerp. So just Power of Evil. There's the front line, and down goes Kerp. Down goes Kevin. The knockup and caught next. Gilius still alive. 3 for 0. This is going to be the game. J. Ree going to fall as well. And even the hook gets created. 5 for nothing. Up. Make that 5 for 1. Vardox goes down. But that will be the game. Unicorns of Love tie it up 2-2. Next winner is in the LCS.
A 28-minute game from the Unicorns of Love. Their average game time in their victories, about 29 minutes. Look at Millennium, it's about 40. Big disparity in terms of how these teams play when they have a lead over their opponents. Unicorns of Love, frankly, just look like a better objective team. Yeah, and the picks and bans, if they get champions that can